to go from 27th and 8th. So now we turn to Nextel All-Star Challenge qualifying. And this will be something a little different. It is the total of 3 laps, which must include a 4-tire pit stop. Pit road speed limit entering 45 miles an hour. No limit upon exit.
And this will be the first time we've ever had this competition with the computer pit road monitoring. So that, I think that's going to play a huge factor in this. 45 miles per hour from coming off 190 miles per hour off into the corner.
Yeah, none of this, but officer, I was only going as fast as the car in front of me, because there won't be one. Casey Kane became the 20th invitee to the Nextel All-Star Challenge last Saturday night when he scored his first career win at Richmond, Virginia.
And he had the race here last fall, cuts the tire down late, but he had a very, very dominant car here last fall.
And these teams, they have the option of making that 4-tire stop at the end of the first lap or the second lap, but we would anticipate about all of them will do it at the end of the second lap. You can see Tommy Baldwin reminding him, pit this time, pit this time.
Yeah, that's the Frank Stoddard rule, named for the crew chief who made his mandatory pit stop in the open race on the last lap and then just had to creep across the start-finish line to finish it up.
Oh boy, he slowed down early. Holy smoly.
This right here will make such a huge difference, how that driver can get on the pit road, maximize the speed, be at 45 miles per hour right there.
Tom Baldwin Jr., the crew chief, and the team that won the Nextel Pit Crew Championship presented by Motorola last night. You'll see that tomorrow evening.
These 7 guys, $70,000. No fuel, just the 4-tire stop.
And his speed was okay.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be. Mike, I think he gave up a lot getting into the pit, getting on pit road.
Now, here's another secret. Remember, there's no pit road speed leaving, and you're going from concrete to asphalt. The driver that can get up to speed the quickest. And remember, Darrell, we have a gear rule and a transmission rule, so you know pretty much everyone has the same ratios in the transmission, same gear in the rear end.
Better to be too slow entering the pits than too fast, because the penalty for coming in too fast is 20 seconds. There's also a 5-second penalty for each loose lug nut. Loose defined as being the nut is not in contact with the wheel.
Yeah, they will not torque the lug nuts. They will just make sure they are against the wheel.
Well, it was a nice, clean run. If I have any question at all, it would just be how slow he had to get. Maybe we see some other cars run. Maybe that's how slow you have to get on pit road without speeding.
Well, and they had a lot of practice where we talked about the apron of the racetrack had been sealed, and it's very slick. And I think Matt Yoakum is with the crew chief of the championship pit crew.
Tommy, looking at the different segment times, pleased with that effort?
Yeah, real well. I mean, I guess the Nextel Open fastest was a 28.50. We went a 28.20, 28.16. So we're real happy with our lap performance. Guys did a real clean stop. Everything's good so far. Our job was to put up a lap that everyone tried to make mistakes off of. So we'll see what happens.
To Dick Berggren.
Ryan Newman, whose real name ought to be Mr. Pole, because nobody has done better at winning poles since he arrived than this guy. But such a different deal tonight with the pit stop involved, that treacherous entry to the pit road coming off turn 4. What's the one part that you and your team are most focused on being sure you get right tonight?
Pit road speed's the big thing as far as, well, getting down to pit road speed and then getting up to speed is probably where you can get the biggest gains, aside from the guys doing the actual pit stop. But as a driver, what you do in the racetrack makes a difference, but not as big a difference as it usually does.
Yeah, Mike Joy knows all about speeding. Mike?
I didn't get caught coming back from Darlington like some of the folks on our crew.
Just to kind of reflect back to last year, Rusty Wallace, he won the pole for this race. Same format. And his time was 123.998. And the time they just put up was a 130.430. So that's 7 seconds slower than last year. I don't know how that's going to play out this year.
Matt Kenseth in the DeWalt Ford of Jack Roush, and Robbie Reiser's Killer Bees set to go to work. Matt?
And Mike, they're up on the wall, 45 miles per hour, all the way down pit road till he'll peel off and pull into pit stall number 19. The Killer Bees going to work. A nice entry, nice slow entry for the 17 driver. won this event 1 year ago, already around to the left side. Looks clean so far on the left side. How'd it look on the right side, Mike?
Looked pretty clean over there, Matt. And the one thing I did notice, I've got my old crew chief stopwatch out. I'm clocking the cars from getting into turn 3 to the entrance to pit road. Matt Kenseth beat Casey Kane by 3/4 of a second just in that segment.
Wow, he is really sliding that car, trying to accelerate as fast as he can back up to full race speed.
The only thing I noticed on his stop, got on pit road pretty good, like Larry said, but he missed his pit box by a mile. There's some tape down there that you're supposed to put the left front wheel on, and he was way back in the box.
Now, Tommy Baldwin said their first overall lap was a 28:20. I had Matt Kenseth at a 28:99 as far as that first lap, so he bought the 3/4 of a second back off.
That 28:20 is an awesome lap, baby.
Kenseth 125.896 seconds. So he is second to Casey Kane right now. Little jump and run, and a little trip right there.
That was probably the difference right there.
Yeah, he was slow on the left rear.
Dale Jarrett in the UPS Ford is our next qualifier. If you look at the upper left, new face atop the pit box, that is Billy Wilburn, former crew chief for Rusty Wallace, among others. He replaces Mike Ford, who resigned after the Richmond race.
Yeah, the team's performance just has not been there, and you see Dale really wobbling through turn 1 and 2, and Mike just said it was starting to take a toll on him. It was starting to take a toll on his family, so it was time maybe just to step aside.
You can still see, Larry, I mean, I know they helped the track a lot, but the cars still jostle around a lot down the back straightaway, and even through the turns if you hit it just right.
Looked like Dale Jarrett was real slow. He locks it down. Yeah, he ran about what Casey Kane ran from the entrance to turn 3 to entrance to pit road, which is about 3/4 of a second slower than Matt Kenseth.
Guys seem to be giving up a lot of time right there. It's at least early on it seems that way.
Jarrett has 3 wins here, and he is eligible for the All-Star Challenge by virtue of being the 1999 Series champion. But he is, it's the problem that's plagued him several times this year. Too fast entering the pit, Matt.
And he slid right into his pit box, Mike, as he is down and away. Solid stop in the box. Well, like you said, it was a little bit ugly coming in and too fast entering pit road.
And Larry, not the first time for DJ. Was it Darlington that we saw him penalized? Was it 2 or 3 times?
Actually in Atlanta twice, and then I think also at Talladega once. And you can see where he was 111 miles per hour on that exit of pit road. Remember, Matt Kenseth was 112. But that 20-second penalty is going to be the Achilles heel for speeding coming in.
Be huge. No penalties on the pit stop for either Kenseth or Jarrett. So DJ is going to be right in the middle of things at 125.571 before the penalty.
And you can see the sun is out again, and it's kind of been peeking in and out, and Larry knows all too well what the sun does to this joint. It'll slow it down a bunch.
Dick Berggren.
No penalties on Casey Kane either. He was fast on the racetrack. Crew was quick. What was the most important part of that entire deal?
I think it all was. The lap was really good. It was the fastest I ever went around this place. And, you know, the pit stop, they did a great job there. I think I might have lost a little bit getting to pit road. Last year I sped getting on pit road, and didn't want to do that this year. So I might have lost a little bit there. But other than that, I feel like it was a pretty darn good lap.
I can tell you about speeding when we get off camera. Mike?
Was that in McBee, South Carolina, Dick?
Tell you where. I'm not going to tell you where it was, Mike, but it was.
Oh, okay. Dale Jarrett trying to get below the radar, locking it down coming onto pit road.
Yeah, it looks like that sealer down there, you know, that apron is pretty slick. You can see all that smoke from the sealer. Probably hurt him, locked up that left front.
But that's probably the segment he was too fast in, was that very first segment.
Tony Stewart promoting the animated comedy Madagascar on his Home Depot Chevrolet. I think that hits theaters pretty quick. There is Zippy, which would have been a great character name for the movie if Greg Zippidelli didn't already have use of it.
Thing looked like it was wobbling a little bit, Larry, getting into 3. Almost had to, like it was really loose.
Pretty decent lap there, lap 128.84, what a lot of those cars ran in the open qualifying a little while ago.
Tony Stewart has been in the All-Star Challenge every year he has been in the Cup Series.
Now he's bringing it to pit road, I tell you. Now see, he's staying out on the racetrack. I like this. Whoops. He doesn't like that, though.
He's going to if he doesn't hit the pit wall.
Well,
Come on, fire it up. Come on,
The clock is still running, so he needs to get it going. But he was 11:03 coming through that segment there. He was too fast.
Yeah.
But I don't think, Larry, he's lost 20 seconds in all that time.
He could probably still beat Dale Jarrett, who had that penalty, and who knows who else will have that 20-second penalty.
Well, now we know why you slow down and get on the apron as fast as you can.
Now, I just want to clarify, when I said he was maybe too fast, it's in my segment, from the entrance of turn 3 to the entrance of pit road that I've been clocking, Matt Yoakum.
And Tom Dean indexes the left front tire for Ira Joe Hussey. And smoke's down and away. Zippy, what did he say on the radio? He was giving some hand signals there.
Yeah, it was, what you call this, a little too fast. Trying to slow down till you get to the commitment line. You ask him to do all he can, and that's what we got. It's all about fun, you know, and that's you got to use your speed coming in, but you want to get all you can, because it's pretty much going to be one on your entrance to pit road, your pit stop, and your exit. So we went for it, and that's what we got. But we'll be all right tomorrow night. We'll have fun. It's usually a good time here. And some people, Chevrolet's not too bad. We need to do a little bit of work on it. Our lap times didn't seem to be terrible there, so we'll just move on.
He finished second back in '99, Mike, but that was when he started 21st, so he knows how to start at the back and get to the front.
And he does beat Dale Jarrett by 8 seconds when Jarrett's penalty is factored in. So it's 137.8 seconds.
I see, I like what he was thinking, Larry.
Yeah.
Carry a little more speed, stay up on that ground part on the racetrack. It's good until he gets it right there. We saw Jeff Gordon do that in practice. But when you hit that sealer down there, you can see how shiny and slick that is. The tires were locked up, spun the car out.
It's almost maybe like he had a little too much rear brake in it, just maybe.
Yeah, but look who's not too worried about it.
He said it. We're having fun tonight.
Yeah, he was happy once he saw that Tony didn't hit that inside wall.
Yeah, that's probably why he's laughing.
That would have been the 4th Gibbs car today to have a little incident.
Greg Biffle has 2 Busch Series wins here. Californian Doug Richard is his crew chief.
I like what they've done. I don't know what they've done to their race cars, but they get down in the earth and they look like they are just digging the track up. Look at that thing. I mean, the tires are up in the fenders, the nose is scraping the track, and Greg is in the gas.
Tell you what, real good first lap, 28.46. That would have been a new track record as well.
No penalties on Tony Stewart's run.
Just look at that. I mean, it looks like a vacuum cleaner. Pops up on the straightaway. That's the rebound and the shock. But when that thing gets to the corner, it just flattens right out. It really looks nice. Whoa, Greg. Whoa.
This looks a little quick right here.
Whoa, baby. Good job. Oh,
nice and straight. I'm going to tell you what, that's a good time right there.
Smooth right there, boys.
That's it, buddy. Bring it on down.
Yeah, man. Bring it on down.
Right on the side. Wheel straight. Foot on the brake.
You heard Doug Richard calling him into his pit box, a slight slide into the box. Solid stop going so far. He started 10th last year and finished 19th. But, Mike, like you've mentioned, they have had a great year so far. Looking to add on to that here at Lowe's.
Yeah, he stopped way, way short, way back in the box. That really threw the timing off of the pit stop.
Let's see what kind of exit speed he will have. We've seen about 112. That may be about the fastest exit speed we've seen at 113. So, yeah, I think if he does not sit on the pole right here, it'll be because he stopped short in his pit box.
No penalties.
Tell you what, though, DW, you're right. The car is down in the ground, and it don't look upset. It's like it's doing everything it should do, and he'll go to the top of the charts.
By
of course,
2.5 seconds.
They still have to check the lug nuts.
Now, that's a new track record for at least from based on last year. Last year was a 123, and now that's a 121.
Something wrong with the right front. It's vibrating real bad when I turn.
Now, what he's saying, something wrong with the right front tire, it could be a lug nut that's just not tight. But remember, all NASCAR is looking for is for it to be in contact with the wheel.
All Dick Stewart's looking for is Tony Stewart.
Yeah, spinning out. What happened, Tony?
I think I ran out of talent coming on pit lane there. I was talking to Jeff Gordon. He's got a new driving school. Maybe I can go to his driving school and learn how to get on pit lane here. So I don't know. I just didn't want to be the only Joe Gibbs Racing driver to not spin out today at some point during the evening. So just wanted to be consistent and have fun with this Madagascar Chevrolet tonight.
So what did Zippy tell you, your crew chief, after you told him that?
He just started laughing. So I think we've all learned this year to have a lot of fun, and when somebody has a mistake, we just make fun of them instead of poking at them too hard. So he knew I made a mistake. He was laughing when I got in pit lane. I could see him as we were doing the pit stop, so I'm just, you know, what else can you do but laugh at yourself when you make a mistake like that?
Maybe you weren't listening to the whole thing. I was. He said, thanks for not hitting anything.
Yeah, we've got some carnage at Joe Gibbs Racing going back to the shop tonight, so at least we saved this one for tomorrow.
Yeah, looks good. Thanks.
Boy, I like their attitude. You know, he spun it. Where'd he spin? Richmond leading.
Yeah.
Laughed about it on the radio. He and Zippy are having a great time. They're loose. That's the way you win championships, Darrell.
It's 180 degrees from what I've seen him in the past. He is having fun.
It's great.
And I don't know who's writing his stuff, but I want to find out.
Here is Jeremy Mayfield, Slugger Labby from the state of Maine, and his crew will go to work on Mayfield's UAW Dodge Dealers Dodge.
Well, I think that vibration that Greg Biffle felt, it also became a penalty. I don't know that it was on the right front, but he had one lug nut infraction that'll add 5 seconds to his time. So far, 5 cars, 2 penalties and 1 spinning out. Jeremy Mayfield couldn't get his car going as he left his pit box. Now, let's see what that does for his speed at the exit of pit road. We're looking for about 112 or 113. Still a good exit speed, so I don't know. It still may have hurt his elapsed time down pit road.
You got to be careful on that transition, though, from concrete to asphalt. And every driver seems to launch out of that box a little differently.
Yeah, it's slick, Cos. When you come off of that concrete, when you drive out onto the asphalt, the car will it changes grip, and it'll break loose with you and then start to try to spin out. I've seen a couple of drivers almost spin down there hitting the end of pit road.
Mayfield is second to his teammate Casey Kane, and the difference between them is a mere half a second. Welcome back to Lowe's Motor Speedway, qualifying for the Nextel Cup All-Star Challenge. Kurt Busch has a handful with this Irwin Tools Ford in another special paint scheme.
Whole thing looks like it's rocked back on the right rear. It's trying to lift up the left front.
We talked to him earlier. He had his hands full during the hour-and-a-half practice earlier today. In fact, he was the slowest of the 20 cars as far as a single lap run.
This blue blade on this car is a blade for utility knives, box cutters, that kind of thing.
Looked pretty good coming through 3 and 4. I'll kind of get what his time here is to right there. 11:34. That's a pretty good segment right there. That's right there with the best of them that we've seen.
All right, I got you. Keep on coming. Keep on
Jimmy
coming.
Fennig is
in away there. Keep coming. Keep coming. About 5, right?
Fennig in the upper left-hand corner of the box, watching as the guys go to work on that right front, changing the tires already around to the left side now. Solid stop, just over 8 seconds so far for the 9017. 13.4 seconds.
Busch's speed entering was okay, but a penalty on Mayfield for a lug nut will add 5 seconds to Jeremy's time.
109, that's about 3 or 4 miles per hour off of what the fastest we've seen, including his teammate Matt Kenson.
Well, he spun the tires so much that when he come off the concrete onto the asphalt, the car was fishtailing, broke loose again. So he was really having trouble getting the power down once he left the pit box.
Still going to be pretty solid. He was clean on his pit road entrance. As long as he is not having any lug nut problems, it's going to be a solid run. Looks like to me it's going to be about a deal having no mistakes.
1 second off of Casey Kane's overall time. Kurt Busch climbs to second. Let's show you what happened with Jeremy Mayfield.
Second fastest to this point.
This is on the right rear. You see, he had a hard time getting to that one. And it's almost like they dropped it. When he dropped the car, that's when he missed that. And I don't know that he ever went back to get it. Of course, the car goes when the jack drops, and that left front, he was trying his best to get that last one, Dick.
Yeah, Greg Biffle had a nearly perfect run, all except for what happened.
Oh, we missed a lug nut on the left front. You know, the tire changer come over and apologized. You know, he said, I hit 5 of them, but I missed the one, and the jack guy let it down. You know, we got all the ones tied on the back, but just missed here. So we didn't leave early. He missed that nut, but no need to apologize. These guys give me a great race car and we're great pit stops when it counts. And, you know, the pressure was on to be on the pole here for the All-Star race. And, you know, it was kind of a fun deal. You know, I think we had a pretty fast. I got on the pit road really fast, and more importantly, got a good car for tomorrow night. I don't think it's going to matter where I start with this thing.
All right, and you got a good crew for tomorrow night as well. One lug nut doesn't make a year.
Peter Suspenso on the pit box for Terry Labonte, carrying the Pizza Hut colors tonight. Larry, the jack man determines the end of the pit stop. If a tire changer misses a lug and has to go back, because the jack man, he's counting how many hits he hears. How does that tire changer signal the jack man he's got to hit one more lug?
It's tough, Mike, because that jack man's trying to watch 2 tire changers at one time, and it's, I think sometimes when that happens, when he sees that go in 5 times, he thinks he's hit 5 lug nuts. Terry really stays up high through turning 4 and arcs it down in. Pretty decent time, 11:59, about 2/10 off the best through that segment.
Here's Matt.
Suspenso up on top of the box. Now you've got Matt Ashbrenner, who will be changing tires on the front. Part of the 5 Busch team from last year with Kyle Busch. Craig Smokestad, the jack man, also from the old 5 Busch team. Smokestad already coming around to the left side. About 1.5 pumps deep.
I think he lost one on the right front. I thought I saw one shoot out of there.
A pretty slow stop for this 44 group. Remember, they're not making a lot of pit stops together as a group. And looks like all the drivers are also stopping somewhat shallow in the pit box.
I think Larry, is because there's 2 boxes there. And so when you're coming up to those boxes, nobody's in the pit. Oh, I remember getting a little confused about which box I was going to stop in.
Not include Terry Labonte so far. We've had 7 cars. We've had 3 cars with penalties, and then Tony Stewart and 20 cars spinning out coming to pit road. So right now, only 2 cars completely penalty or spin free.
And Labonte ends up 5th, 128.39 seconds. The 9th driver to qualify for the NASCAR Nextel Cup All-Star Challenge will be Rusty Wallace in the Miller Lite Dodge.
Rusty's first lap, not a great first lap, 29.06. We've seen a lot of mid-high 28s.
Yeah, he looked like he got way up high in the middle of 1 and 2 on that lap. Shoved up with him, looked like maybe a little tight.
Well, Rusty normally does a pretty good job of getting on pit road. We'll see if he can find that fine line between not being too fast or not being too slow.
See, he's way up high. He's going to get a nice arc down in.
400 now.
This will be Rusty's.
Tell you what, if he made pit road speed, that's the best I've seen through 3 and 4, but I don't know about that first segment, Darrell. Yeah, he beat the fastest guy that I've had through that 3 and 4 segment by about 2/10.
Well, I know Russell, he says, they got to call it. That's all I know. That was pretty darn fast, I know.
Waiting on the tire for the left front. Hackney and Richardson, nice stops. Changing the tires, 12.9.
And nice work for the driver. Rusty was clean coming in, no penalty.
Little slow on the miles per hour on exit, 111. Remember, we've seen 112, we've seen 113, but this is going to be a pretty solid run. You can see it right there so far, as long as we have no lug nut penalty.
Yeah, that entry and that pit stop could get him the pole for the 2nd year in a row.
I'll tell you what got him that pole, if he gets it, is that entry.
Yes, sir.
That was right on the money. I mean, you couldn't have carried it in there any better.
Yeah, other than Tony Stewart, who we know he was too fast. The fastest I've had through that segment's 11:34. Rusty ran 11:15 through that segment, and right now he's number 1.
And that last year he was a 123, and this year he's a 123.
Here's Dick.
Kurt Busch had a nearly perfect run, but the car's not exactly right. You guys, however, have time tomorrow in the impound. Tell us what you're going to do to it to make it faster.
Well, I thought I got, as far as our lap itself, the speed-wise, we were way slow. But as far as getting in and off the pit road, and then a tremendous job by my guys to do a 13.3, I think, on our stop. That's what it takes, is teamwork, and that might put us in the top 5, but top 10 will be a good start for our Blue Blade Unbreakable Irwin Industrial Tools Ford this weekend. I mean, we got a promo gig, and we're going to actually try to sell some of these things too.
Give that Michael Waltrip, right?
Just a cool paint scheme.
Okay, Mike.
Nice comeback, Dick. Here are the race-off pit road times.
Now, these are the order that they have went out and qualified, and you can see right there the fastest, Greg Biffle and Terry and Rusty Wallace. But remember, Greg Biffle had that penalty because these times do not include penalties. And you see the slowest, Tony Stewart. Of course, we know why, that he spun down there. So that kind of tells the tale of pit road, including the pit stop.
Robbie Loomis up on the box as Jeff Gordon comes to make his run, and Rusty Wallace, no penalties on his run. He's currently the pole sitter. Jeff Gordon tied with Dale Earnhardt for the most wins in the All-Star race at 3.
Be ready for you this time. Pit this time.
He's been in the All-Star tilt 11 times.
It looks like he's working with that car quite a bit, Larry. It looked like the car was almost like he was turning the wheel and then turning the wheel. It's like he was juking with him some.
We talked about Rusty Wallace being good getting on and off pit road. Let's see what Jeff Gordon can do as he comes off the banking onto the apron, Mike.
Looks pretty slow compared to
quite a bit. 11:71. Remember, Rusty was 11:15 through 3 and 4.
Matt?
And Jeff Gordon will have a new tire changer tonight. Now, Corey Quick, who normally changes the fronts, is under the weather. So Kelly Kellis has come over just for tonight's activity from the Zero Haas team to help out. Let's see how that chemistry is between Craig Hirion, who's the tire carrier on the front. Looks very good so far, Mike.
Revving the engine patiently. Oh, a lot of wheel spin coming out. That just did not look fast coming out.
See what it does for that miles per hour at the end of pit road. Looking for about 112, 113. He's right there with them. Still may have a slower elapsed time. But the biggest thing, he was just kind of slow getting through 3 and 4 to pit road.
Yeah, it just didn't look like a real aggressive run all the way through.
I wonder if this stopping short in the box is to try to lengthen the exit end of pit road to get more speed at the end.
Well, they need to tell the pit crew because they're putting marks on the.
Pretty good there, guys.
It just throws their rhythm off.
They're expecting him to come to his mark, and when he doesn't, it throws their timing off.
Second place for Jeff Gordon. Just about 4/10 off of Rusty Wallace. DuPont Performance Alliance there. Those are body shops that use the DuPont paints and chemicals and align together.
That's pretty amazing. 4/10 of a second difference between first and second right now. 3 laps including a pit stop. How about it, Dick Berger?
With Rusty Wallace, the crew other than Earl Barban here scattered as soon as they were going to find out they were on TV. How much fun was that, Rusty?
It was good. I mean, we had a good car. I got a little loose in the first lap getting in, but hammered down through 3 and 4, and they got the baby off pit road pretty good, off the racetrack, and got her slammed down, and come across the line pretty hot, throttled back, try to get a little average so I don't get bust on pit road speed, and the guys knocked out a pretty good slop, and I was real happy with them. So we're number 1 right now. We'll see if it holds up. I don't know.
All right, good luck to you. I wonder if Darrell has forgiven you for 1989 yet. I wonder.
No way.
Doc, don't bring that up.
Watch behind you. Watch it.
You have forgiven him, haven't
Oh, yeah, that was 19. How many years ago was that?
you? A lot.
See Bobby Labonte here in the 18 car now. He crashed right at the end of the practice session today. This is the first laps he's been able to make in this race car right here.
Of course, I never told anyone this. I'll tell y'all now. That Toyota commercial I did when I was tearing up the yard, yeah, it was Rusty's yard.
And this was, he had went out to make a qualifying, a new sticker tire run, and the car just got loose with him, and there was no time to get back out on the racetrack with a backup car. But for the first lap, pretty decent 29-24. Seen cars that ran that entire hour-and-a-half practice that didn't hardly run that.
One loose lug nut on Jeff Gordon. That will drop him down to 7th. That 5-second penalty. So, Darrell, that commercial where you yanked the garage door off the house?
That was his, too.
Rusty's house? Yeah, that's what I figured.
Was it his father-in-law, too? You were going to take fishing?
No.
Bobby Labonte gets the Interstate Chevy down to pit road speed. Long way down pit road.
A little conservative through my segment down there, 11:65, about a half a second off of Rusty.
Same. Most importantly.
See, there's another guy stopping short in the box.
Matt?
The Paul 11 Al Shoe from Coach Crew going to work. Solid on the right side. Looks a little slow on the left side. Waited for the rears. He's away.
Darrell, they're stopping short. Now, you know, maybe I've been around this sport too long, but I remember we used to come in and they tell you to hit the pit sign. That's where we want you to stop, is hit the pit sign.
Exactly.
Are they doing that?
No, I just don't know why. I think it's what am I trying to say? Not perception. Depth perception. I just don't think there's anything there, enough things there to judge off of where you are in the pit box.
You saw he was a little slow leaving the pit road. I think the biggest thing Bobby Labonte, Steve Addington, and this team is trying to do, get 3 laps under their belt with this car. Don't talk about it. This is not an impound race, so they can make changes to get ready to race tomorrow night.
The other thing I'm not sure of either is nobody's really putting a piece of tape down there for them to come to. One guy did early, I think Kenson, but nobody else has.
Joe Nemechek will be the 12th driver to take time in Nextel All-Star Challenge qualifying. He's been in the All-Star race 5 times with the best finish of 5th. The U.S. Army Chevrolet.
Pretty solid first lap, 28.84. Remember, these guys, a lot of them are somewhat in race trim because of running these 3 laps. You can't put all that tape on the nose that you normally would for regular qualifying because it's going to be sitting still for 12 or 13 seconds during that pit stop.
Ryan Pemberton calling Joe in.
That's fast.
I'll say 10.87. He beats Rusty by about 3/10 through that segment if he was down to pit road speed.
Let's see if that pit sign's out for front row Joe, and if he hits it with the nose of that Chevrolet. Sign is out. A little short there, Matt.
One of the best entries, though, Mike, did not slide the tires and came close to hitting the sign. The Army guy is going to work already back around on the left side. How'd it look on the right side, Larry?
Looked pretty solid over there. Tire changers are done about the same time. A little slow on the left front. But so far, he ran a good first lap. He had a good segment through 3 and 4. Let's see what he looks like on the exit, DW.
Well, he was wheel spinning. He shifted into second gear way early, and it bogged on him.
But a pretty decent exit miles per hour at 112. That's right there with the best of the guys.
I tell you, that entry is what's going to help him. That was an awesome entry.
And it was legal.
That's good.
He was not speeding.
That was carrying it to the limit. I thought Rusty was fast, but Joe beat him.
Now, I'm not sure about short shifting there coming out of the box.
No, he was spinning, wheel spinning. I think a driver automatically will say, well, if I shift gears, but you'll bog down and actually hurt your speed.
4th for Nemechek. 1/10 of a second exactly slower than Kurt Busch. Here's Dick.
Jeff Gordon has won from the back in 2001. He had to go to a backup car, start at the back. You're going to start somewhere around the middle this time. Will it be as easy to win the race?
I don't know. You know, with the grinding that they did here at the track, it's fast, really fast. Got a lot of different grooves, but I don't know how easy it's going to be to necessarily pass. So, you know, that was a great run, actually, for the DuPont Chevrolet. We had one loose lug nut. It cost us 5 seconds, but other than that, I was real happy. The car felt great. Got to pit road pretty good. I could have maybe gotten a little bit, you know, harder to pit road, but clean all the way around. Great pit stop, you know, other than that loose lug nut. So I'm pretty happy the way things went there. You know, we'll take that 5-second penalty, start a little bit further back in the field, and hopefully we can get that DuPont Chevrolet to the front.
Nobody's got a better record in that weekend, the big weekend coming up, than this guy, Mike.
And here's our race off pit road. This is pit road, including the pit stop, but not including the penalties. Right now, you see Greg Biffle, who had a penalty, Rusty Wallace, the quickest, and you see right there Tony Stewart and Terry Labonte, the slowest. But remember, Tony Stewart, he spun out on pit road is the reason his time is so slow.
So the rocket is on it, and Matt Borland.
He is on it, baby. I'm telling you.
Send him around.
Man, he's going to suck the dang.
Hit this lap.
28.34, not quite as quick as Casey Kane, but that would have been about 2/10 below the track record before Mike Bliss broke it in open qualifying.
Yeah, he sucked the tear off right off our windows here.
See what kind of segment I can clock Ryan Newman here through 3 and 4 till he gets to the entrance of pit road, right? There, he locks it up. 11-12. That's a pretty good time. That's pretty good. That's a little better than Rusty.
You know what I like? It looks like he had a lot of front brake in the car,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't break loose on transition like Stewart's did.
Yeah, I think that's probably the difference. Tony had a little too much rear brake, got him loose, got him around.
Matt?
And Newman, nice entry into his box, pit stall number 17. Borland on the radio. Now, he is also keeping track on his stopwatch. Good, solid stop. Goodrich on the jack. Drops it. He's away.
That's a good stop, Matt. And those guys, they were finished with the right side in about 5.5 to 6 seconds. Let's see what his speed looks like.
Be really good, Larry. He come out of that pit box.
Look at there, 115. We've not seen any speed like
Now,
that.
let me tell you why, Larry. You go back and look. He stayed on the concrete. He came off of the concrete at exactly the right place.
He's a rocket.
He's fun to watch when he comes running 2 or 3 laps. I have to say, though, they've been pretty consistent here lately.
So we know pit road entrance was good. The only thing they'll have to check is the lug nuts.
This will be big.
Shuttered.
Boom! By almost a second, Newman goes to the pole.
Good job, Ryan.
Matt Borland is fired up.
Matt.
And he is high-fiving. Everybody took time out to congratulate the driver. Nice job.
Yeah, he did a great job for the great lap in. The guys just had an awesome stop out here, and hopefully won't get any penalties and it'll hold up.
Try for another Nextel All-Star Challenge victory.
He is a rocket. Watch this entry.
It's good on entry. Larry, he's out there. It stays out on the racetrack. Tony did this very same thing, but Tony had too much rear brake. He locks up the fronts, blows her up.
It looks like they almost had the brake balance perfect. What they're trying to do.
But here's where he really smokes them. Watch. Stays on the concrete. Stays on the concrete. Everybody else has been diving off. He comes off at exactly the right place. Minimum wheel speed and 115-mile-an-hour exit.
And there's the reaction by Matt Borland, the crew chief. He likes it. Everybody did their job.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing when everybody works together like that. T-E-A-M.
Big change in the structure of this team this week. Roger Penske buying out his partners, Rusty Wallace, Don Miller, and general manager John Erickson, who now own 100% of Penske Racing South. Clean run for Ryan Newman. He's our pole sitter. Mark Martin's Viagra Ford with another retro paint scheme. They ran, it was the old Stroh's Light scheme earlier this year. This is the first Valvoline paint scheme that Mark ran in his career for Jack Roush.
This is my favorite right here. I mean, this looks like Mark Martin when he was having so much success in that car, painted that way.
Well, it's still got a big V on the hood, so yeah.
Little slow through my segment right there. He's very conservative coming off the banking.
He looked really slow. He got her woed up early.
In a decent first lap, 28.71. Matt Yoakum.
Great paint scheme, Larry Mack, and a great car. Twice last year finished second, and this year finished fourth at Atlanta as Pat Trice and high atop the pit box. Watching a good stop going on so far by the Viagra team. Already around on the left side. And he's down and away.
Pretty solid stop. This is just going to be a conservative qualifying run, it looks like. We'll see what his exit speed is down at the end of pit road.
Now, see, he learned from Ryan Newman. He stayed on the concrete. These earlier guys were not doing that.
And look at there, 116 miles per hour.
Quickest of the night. I wonder if a factor in all this is all the rubber that's being laid down on that concrete, much like a drag strip, if that's helping grip as these cars launch out of the pit box.
I think they've got it just right, the concrete, and I think the asphalt is still slick from, I don't know if they sealed the entire pit road or not, but it seems like it's slick out on the asphalt.
P2 for Mark Martin. He beats Rusty Wallace by less than 3/100ths of a second.
And I think where that came was leaving his pit box and that miles per hour.
Exactly there.
Dick Berggren with the rocket.
Yeah, and Matt Borland, his crew chief, just left with pat on the back for everybody. How close to perfect was that run?
It was pretty good. I mean, I don't even know what the time was for the pit stop, but the guys are doing a great job, obviously, the last couple weeks, and just a good run for the Alto Dodge. Pretty happy with the lap itself. I think Casey was a little bit quicker on the what matters next Thursday lap, but you know, other than that, we're pretty good.
13 even on your pit stop.
Yeah, that's great. That'll make him some money.
Don't you wonder, guys, if they put this guy in a car and had him go all the way around the racetrack backwards, if he'd still win the pole?
I tell you what I like. Here he is on the pole for the race right now, and he's worried about next Thursday night.
Yeah, I'm not sure he even needs a car. Kevin Harvick.
Oh, Harvick. Man, that thing took off, Larry. I don't know what happened.
We've seen a lot of guys have problem from the center off. Cars just getting loose with them.
I thought it was gone. I mean, the thing just shot up the racetrack over there off of 2 like something happened to it.
I just wonder if, like Jason Leffler earlier today, if the car bottomed out right there. That's what happened to him in that crash in practice earlier. Pretty decent lap, though, for all that went on, 29.09.
Clean run for Mark Martin, so his second place time will hold up. Little sun on the back stretch in turn 3 now, gleaming off of Harvick's car.
I believe that's that car we called Old Hoppy. That baby hops around.
Todd Berrier.
Kevin looked pretty good. Let's see what his time is. 10:50. I've seen no one that fast. Depends on if he got to the miles per hour in that first segment.
I'm saying no, but I'm not sure.
And again, that car looked like it had all front brake dialed in it.
Looked like it had 4-wheel brakes. He was coming on the pit lane.
Oh, speeding in the pit lane, Matt.
Yeah.
Too fast on entry. He pulled off 2 boxes on the concrete pad. Pulver on the front, Pittman on the rear, and Kruger helped push the car away. 13 in change.
Just a lot of wheel spin there. There was a lot of RPMs. Now, he stayed on the concrete for a long time. But remember, we will have a 20-second penalty, and you can see there 113, which is what we've seen a lot of cars at that exit.
I'm trying to wreck it.
Kevin giving a description of Todd Berrier's crew chief about, I think, turn 2.
What the hell?
He is 5th fastest on the clock, but we're going to add 20 seconds to that. And let's show you Harvick's entry. Kevin Harvick got in there in a hurry and got busted by the fun police. Too fast entering the pits in that segment right there. Jimmy Johnson in the Lowe's Chevrolet will be the 16th qualifier. The All-Star Challenge winner in 2003. Chad Knaus calls him in.
Look pretty conservative, 11.72. That's about 3/4 of a second off what I think you can do and still not speed on the entrance.
Better 3/4 of a second than 20 seconds on a penalty, Matt.
And remember, the 48 team has had to shuffle. Jimmy kind of chops a little bit in the box. They had to shuffle their tire changers. Timmy Latiga injured at Darlington. Shane Parks now on the front. Joe Zanellini on the back. And the back a little bit behind the front as Parks now hits the lugs. He's away.
Yeah, a lot of trouble there on the right rear, and he kind of spun the tires quite a bit, leaving his pit box, Matt. See what his speed, 118, that's as fast as we've seen anybody, about 2 miles per hour.
What's happened to that concrete now is they've got a little rubber on it, and it's really getting some bite now, and you can pick up a lot of speed.
All we need now is a bleach box for these guys to spin their tires in.
I think right now you see if he is clean on all penalties, about a 4th or 5th place run. I just think very conservative on getting on the pit road. Plus, he didn't have that great of a first lap at a 28.93.
Yeah, I think that lap's really what hurt him a lot. That's pretty slow compared to 28.20 for Casey Kane.
But I don't know, Darrell, if we can call 5th place really hurt. I mean, that's solid.
Oh, yeah.
Not spectacular, but solid.
He's going to be right up there when they drop the green flag. He will be able to see it.
All right. Dick Berger.
Well, 2005 will be Mark Martin's 16th consecutive All-Star race. May not be the last. You coming back next year, maybe?
Well, if they keep the rules the way they are now, we might be back. But, you know, this is just a great run. I really want to thank Viagra. You know, it's been great working with them for the last 7 years. They're #1 in my book and in everybody else's book, too. So, you know, the colors on the car really bring back a lot of memories. The retro paint scheme, and And I just want to thank everybody. Jack Roush and my team. We're going to start up front like the old days. This is a pretty cool deal, and just all the sponsors, Gatorade and Kraft and Ford and Pennzoil and everybody that supports us. This is a good year, and I'm blessed with a great team.
Indeed, it is on the outside of the front row so far.
So Mark leaves the door open for a return to the All-Star race next year. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the Budweiser Chevy, the All-Star Challenge winner in 2000. This will be his 6th appearance.
Really struggled in practice today, and not a great first lap about what Jimmy Johnson ran, 28.96 DW.
Yeah, he's down. He's running the line that we always run here. The faster cars are middle of the racetrack, and he's hugging that white line, and that hurts your speed. Pay off in the race maybe, but hurts your speed right now.
He's fast right there.
He looks almost too quick.
Yeah, he's not even going to make it.
Yeah, he's going to be too fast, I'm sure, in that first segment. I'll say 10:40 through my segment. Can't do it. Law of physics takes over.
10:40 in the grass.
The Bud guys jump off the wall. Pit crew coach Walt Smith looking on. He's timing the stop as well. Already around Crumley on the left front. Waiting on the jack. Too fast entering pit road, so they will be penalized. Also, a left fell off the left front. 16 and change for driver 8.
Yeah, just not a great first lap. Too fast coming in. A little trouble on the pit stop. Pretty decent exit speed, but this is not going to be a very great run.
Well, I guess the best you can say is maybe they've used up all their bad luck for these 2 weeks. Just there.
A little early.
But that's okay. Plenty of time to rebound.
Looks like he's going to be maybe about 8th or 9th out of the 17 cars with 3 to go.
126 seconds. And that will put him 17th of 17 when the penalty is factored in. Let's show you this entry again. This just looked way fast.
Yeah, just through the center of the corner about as fast as you're going to run another lap.
This is when, oh man, he's lucky he didn't get all the way out in the grass with that right front locked up like that.
Because this grass is wet right now.
Oh yeah,
hard here this morning.
This is kind of like you say, where's pit road speed start? Oh, back there.
Well, and Darrell, maybe this is the problem with having too much front brakes, because when you lock them both and you're trying to turn, that car goes straight like it's on ice.
Yeah, well, I think he just had too much speed. I don't think there's enough brake in the world to slow him down.
An anchor might have helped.
An anchor, maybe.
So Todd Parrott, crew chief, looking over Elliott Sadler's. He takes the green flag to start his 3 laps.
This will be a good little run right here. These boys have been doing good in the pits.
And Elliott's got pretty much the same attitude as Tony Stewart. When things go great, he's happy about it. When they don't go so great, he can still laugh about it. And just that loose kind of approach to where things don't bother you too much to slow you down.
Well, it started right there with that guy on the screen in the 2-box, Todd Parrott. When the crew chief kind of allows you to be that way, then I think you can have fun.
I tell you what, Darrell, pretty good lap. 28.37 that first lap.
Yeah, I think these boys will be on it.
No further penalty on Dale Jr.'s stop.
Bring her on to the house. Pretty fast right there. He needs to get her woed up. Lower down there, Elliott. Come on, grab some gears.
Oh, I like it.
It's looking smooth right there. Good speed.
Pretty good, Darrell. 11:15 if he's not too fast through my segment.
He was fine. He looked right on the money.
Yep, this has front 4 written all over it if the pit stop is clean, Matt.
And Jackman Rodney Fetters on the wall, waiting for his bounce off the wall around to the right side. Nice entry by Elliott Sadler. Former dirt track racer Mikey Lingerfeld on the front, already around to the left front.
Now, he actually overshot the pit sign by about a foot.
Interesting what Todd Parrott did. He had the tape on there for the 1 full lap, and you saw right there the tire carrier pulled the tape off to cool it back down during this pit road pit stop. Good strategy there.
Interesting.
And look at there, 116 miles per hour. This could be good, boys.
Yeah, they're using that concrete to their advantage now, going right down there to where it ends and then jumping out in to the pit lane is really paying off. These last several guys have figured that out.
But I'm pretty impressed. Todd Parrott wanted the full advantage of the aerodynamics on the one full qualifying lap. But to cool it back down, he opened up a little bit of that nose on that stop.
Todd knows
Good job, bud. Good job. That's C4 right there. Good job. Great job getting to the pit.
Fourth for Sadler, just about 2/10 off of Rusty Wallace's time. Good run. 2 cars to go in qualifying for the Nextel All-Star Challenge at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Ryan Newman and Mark Martin the quickest so far. And here is the poster boy for having fun going racing. Carl Edwards. From the dirt tracks to Busch Series and Nextel Cup victory lane in a quick hurry, driving for Jack Roush in the Scott's Ford number 99.
You know, when you can have fun when you're like Carl, when your name starts showing up on the back of the check instead of the front.
There you go. Pretty decent first lap for Carl, 28.74. That's right there with the thick of everybody.
Now, this will be a little bit of a twist for him, getting this baby on pit road at this speed.
A little fast through the middle, but he looks like he gets her woed down.
Yeah, he got her woed up real good.
It's decent, 11.37, nothing wrong with that.
Actually, to the line, he was actually a little slow, but he got to the line well.
Carl finished second here last year in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. We'll remind you that their race is coming up as soon as we're done here at Lowe's Motor Speedway tonight, so keep it right here on Speed. Bob Osborne's crew hard at work on the right side.
So far, so good. Good looking stop.
Good right side.
Got 7 seconds on the right side. That's good.
Speed's okay entering the pit.
Good pit stop.
Nice work. Stay on the concrete.
Nope.
He got off early, but he's wheel spin when you come off. It should hurt his exit speed compared to what we've seen these other cats do.
Still up there decent.
Yeah, that's what they were doing earlier. You know, not 114, 15. We've seen some of the fast guys.
But very solid.
But a nice stop, and he got on pit lane with no problem. He should be right up there in the first 4 or 5, looked to me like.
Starting to come down now a little bit. I don't know if it's going to make top 5 or not.
No, it's not. I thought he was a little bit better. His lap speeds must have not been that great.
Solid. 7th fastest for Carl. Here's Dick.
Well, Junior, going to start deep in the field. Tell us a positive story about that.
Well, the car drove good. It ain't been doing that all day long. We made some changes, and I was more concerned about how the car was going to drive. So we learned some stuff right there. We're going to keep going in the same direction and get a little better. I made a mistake coming on the pit road, and, you know, it's just, yeah, all you can do is laugh, you know, but we dropped the lug nut off the left front. But the car drives better, way better. It's been a miserable day during practice for us, both cars, the 15 and the 8. So hopefully we both can work together a little bit and figure something out for tomorrow.
But you managed a positive story. We're glad for that. Thank you.
Well, sounds like he and Tony have been hanging out together.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Michael Waltrip will be our final qualifier. Michael won the Nextel Open, then the Winston Open in 1991 and 92, and won the All-Star race in 1996.
You heard Dale Earnhardt Jr., his teammate. Look there, he bottomed out bad. How he ever saved that thing?
That's the same thing the 29 car did over there. There's a bump over there up high, looks like, and they bottom out, and the thing shot to the wall.
Sounded like it killed the left front.
Oh, well, it looked like it bottomed out the tire and the fender, plus bottomed out on the actual racetrack.
I saw the 29 do that, but I didn't ever get a read.
Yeah, Darrell, 30-22. You know, he's a second half off on that lap right there.
But he tries to avoid that spot this time.
Now, Tony Eury Jr. helmeted. Looks like he's getting set to go over the wall. He is not on the radio to Michael.
He's back. I think he went back to changing tires last week.
He did do that. Michael runs high through 3 and 4, a little higher. He's going to try to arc it down here to the entrance of pit road.
I think Mikey says, I know I got to make it up somewhere. Maybe I can make it up here.
Tell you what, if he's not speeding, that's pretty good. 11:09 through that segment.
Very good. Matt's waiting on him.
The Napa guys working in a new tire changer this week. As you mentioned, Tony Eury Jr. came out of retirement as Michael pulls into the concrete back at stall 21. Now, Tony Jr. pitted the tire changer position last week. This week, he's a tire carrier. Brandon Blake from Paul Menard's Busch team working in that position tonight. They're just giving him a look-see. And they've got some issues on the left front.
A lot of issues there, and another thing I noticed is they pulled tape off the nose, and Darrell, if they never had that tape on that nose in practice, that planted the nose more. That could have been part of why he bottomed out over there.
I'll tell you one thing, he's lucky he saved it. That's all I know.
Pretty decent pit road exit, but the Achilles heel is going to be that pit stop and that first lap.
But Larry, even the couple of seconds they lost there should put him ahead of the 6 cars that have had penalties for lug nuts or for speeding down pit road.
Yeah, I think they got all the lug nuts on. It took them a couple of tries, but I think they finally got them all on.
No bottoming on this lap.
Probably good.
As Michael's time is in, he is 16th right now at 134. And big surprise. There's Ryan and Chrissy Newman. Ryan is on the pole.
Watch this thing, Larry. I mean, he's coming off turn 2. He's a little bit high. Man, look at that. She just bottoms out and hangs the tire up in the left front fender. And, man, he's lucky he saved it.
Then next thing you know, yeah, then the car itself actually bottomed out. And that was late exit of turn 2.
I think there might be something up real high over there off of that corner. He's pretty high on exit. Gets the tire smoking, and it just bottoms out big time.
Lucky man, he saved that race car.
Yep.
Time for our Win Fuel Fast lap. It is, of course, Ryan Newman's. New logo for Alltel on that Dodge. Same old Polson. Great job by Matt Portland and crew. The last time an all-star race was won from the pole, Davey Allison, 1992.
So let me see if I can get this straight. You can run 1 lap, you can run 2 laps, you can run 3, you can throw 7 guys in to do a pit stop, and the same guy is still on the pole, Dick Bergman.
Well, usually nothing comes between me and the pole winner, but this time the car came between me and you. How about this crew behind you?
Yeah, everybody gets free hats for this deal here. Great job by the crew. Like I said, the last couple weeks they've been awesome and improved again tonight. We're looking forward to tomorrow night with the Alltel Dodge. Brand new logo for Alltel, and like I said, look forward to it. They earned it tonight.
How important is starting up front in tomorrow night's race?
Well, any race I've ever been to, the best place to be is up front, no matter what the race is. And at least you have your own destiny. You can create your own destiny from that position.
Your pole winning run. Well, at least it was at least it was just water. How important were these guys to winning the pole tonight?
They were very important, obviously, the pit stop. It's a cool deal just to have the guys there to be part of qualifying. You know, it's a team sport. It should be recognized as that. We get an opportunity to do that at situations like this, events like this, so it's a lot of fun.
We're going to go off, Ryan and I, and try to find some towels. Mike, can you finish this thing up for us?
I think we'll manage.
All right.
Mark Martin will share the front row with Ryan. It's his first front row start in the All-Star race since 2000. More from Charlotte after this. Dust descends on Lowe's Motor Speedway. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is coming up next. Here were the penalties. 3 drivers speeding on the pit entry and 3 drivers each with a loose lug nut. So that will change around our Gillette starting grid from what it might have been. Ryan Newman, Mark Martin, Dodge and a Ford. First 2 rows. How about the fellas in what might be their last All-Star appearance? We're not sure now. Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace right up there in the front 2 rows.
I tell you what, Mark loves this joint. You know, he's won a lot of races here. I'd keep an eye on that dude tomorrow night.
And just remember, Roush Racing, all 5 drivers already in the All-Star Challenge race tomorrow night.
And, of course, they'll be joined by the winner of the Nextel Open and the highest finishing driver in the fan vote as long as he finishes on the lead lap. So, you know, any sport, the All-Star game is big. In NASCAR, you get to see all the stars every week. Our sport is a little different. But to see them in this kind of format, it's a crazy format. 3 different segments, 3 different lengths. There's an invert. And the paper today said the even-numbered cars will run a different direction than the odd-numbered cars in the last segment. And then said, just kidding. But it's fun. That's the main thing. It's fun.
Well, that was the concept of this event from the get-go, was to involve the fans, make it different, something different than what we do every weekend instead of green, white, checkered. Mix it up a little bit. Throw a lot of money at these guys, and guess what you'll have? You'll have a wild show.
And just remember, these pit crews, they'll be involved tomorrow night because in that first segment, there's a green flag mandatory 4-tire stop between lap 13 and 15, and then the last 20 laps, all green flag laps, and the strategy will be to pit or not to pit before that final segment.
All right, let's show you what's coming up on the Fox networks. Next, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Live from Lowe's Motor Speedway. And tomorrow, NASCAR This Morning right here on Speed. 5:30 p.m. for NASCAR This Morning. Figure it out. Just tune in. And then on FX, the Nextel Pit Crew Challenge, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and the Nextel All-Star Challenge Race, 7 p.m. Eastern on FX. A big night of qualifying. Stay tuned for the trucks. Fast laps, fast pit stops, different entries, some very different. Different launches off on the concrete, but in the end, the same old story. Ryan Newman wins the pole.